Sam Beutler. I'm with Students for Democratic Society.
And there's turn my own mic off. There's a rally tonight. Tell us when it is, where it is, and maybe begin with why you're having this rally.
Okay, so in the past week there was a shooting of a man who was handcuffed. So he was shot while handcuffed by the police in Minneapolis, and protesters have been demanding that the police release the videos of the shooting for the past week, which has included like shutting down the interstate, standing outside the precinct. But on Monday, five protesters were shot by two masked assailants while demanding, they were shot while demanding that the police revealed the tapes. So obviously we see like an element of organized white supremacy attacking protesters who are demanding justice for black people in the United States, and specifically in Minneapolis. So we as SDS decided we need to stand not only with the demands to release the videos to receive justice for Jamar, the man who was shot in Minneapolis, but also we need to stand with Minneapolis protesters against this organized white supremacy that the police came out. The shooting was blocked from the precinct. The police came out 15 minutes. It took them 15 minutes to get there. When they got there, according to protesters, they said, "This is what you wanted, isn't it?" And then proceeded to pepper spray the protesters and stop the people who were shot from getting medical care, instead of actually doing anything to arrest the mass shooters.
What makes you say white supremacy? What's the connection there between white supremacy and what happened to these protesters?
Well, I mean, these protesters are standing up and demanding justice for black people in the United States. Black people historically have suffered at the hands of white supremacy, and you see any time that black people organize and come together and demand justice, you have, or demand change, or any sort of, any sort of justice, they're attacked by these organizations. It happened with the KKK during Reconstruction. It happened during the Civil Rights Movement in the 60s. So once again, you see a resurgence of white supremacist groups that are opposed to any sort of black autonomy or black freedom, and that's why there's a definite connection between black people standing up for their rights and white people saying, well, any challenge to our dominance in society is a threat to us, and we're going to organize against that.
There's a new group called Students Against White Student Unions that says that there's a growing number of white student unions forming on campus. Why do you oppose white student unions?
Again, when you see these white student unions, they historically have connections with white nationalist groups, like neo-Nazis, fascist imagery and stuff. There's no reason that white students should have a union when in fact these unions are just there to perpetrate hate and to reinforce white supremacy, which limits and curbs the freedoms of other individuals in the United States.
Do we know if there are white student unions on campuses in Florida?
So there were pages for FSU, UCF, FIU. There's none in USF, but there was Students for Democratic Society in Tallahassee recently found a flyer on the wall that said white student union, join white student union, something like that.
But you think that some of these pages might just be false?
Yeah. Some universities have done investigations. I believe NYU did an investigation. The page there was false, and a lot of them have the same outline and structure. So a lot of them are fake, but there are definite real ones in Mizzou. Where these protests, we see a recent reignition of this Black Lives Matter movement, and there's a white student union in Mizzou. There's a white student union in Tulsa that I forget the other two, but there are definitely real organizations emerging around the United States.
And finally, if people want to find out about your fight against white supremacy and standing with Minneapolis, where can they go to find out more information?
So I should say that the protest tonight is at 6:30 in Likes Gaslight Park. which is right in front of the police station downtown in Tampa. But there's a Facebook page for it. It's Emergency Action Stand Against White Supremacy. And it's on our Facebook page, Tampa SDS, Tampa Bay Students for Democratic Society. And yeah, there's a Facebook page for it.
Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you.